Okay, hi, it's April again, and I am going to show you how to make cauliflower Mexicorn, which I eat usually anytime I'm craving Mexican food and that smoky, spicy flavor. So get yourself a pan, medium-high heat, get a little bit of olive oil in there. I just sort of do like a Rachel Ray Evo dribble. Now this corn, for this you're going to need some taco seasoning. I use Chimeo Chorizo sausage spice seasoning from Savory Spice Shop in Boulder, Colorado. They're one of my favorite spice shops. You can order from them online if you don't ever find yourself there. And we're immediately going to start off with some Mexicorn, or sorry, roasted corn from Trader Joe's. This is what it looks like. I know it's not organic, but it's the only roasted corn that I've found. So I like it for this particular dish. It adds like a little layer of smokiness. I've already defrosted it in the microwave a little bit, so it's not completely unfrozen, but it's getting there. And then you're going to add in some bell peppers. If you watch the other video, this is probably going to be about like maybe a cup or two of bell peppers. I like red, orange, and yellow all cut up together. And then for this particular dish, because they have a strong flavor, I also add green. So maybe a cup, a little more than a cup of green bell peppers. Stir it all around so they all get covered with just a little bit of oil. If you're freaked out about fat, you can use like a spray, but honestly, like, olive oil is a good fat. It's okay. As long as you just do a couple of tablespoons, it's not going to kill your diet. I always season in the beginning, and then I season again at the end. So in the beginning, I just use salt and pepper. I have this little grinder. It's super handy. You can also get these from IKEA. I like to mix Rocky salt with peppercorn so that I get my salt and pepper in the same one. Usually a little more pepper than salt. For this one, I'm also going to add a little bit of my favorite chunky mixed up garlic seasoning from Jane's Crazy. And this is slightly different from the other dish because the squash I like to be like really cooked. And even like a little brown in that other dish. But with this one, we want these peppers and corn and to retain their kind of like bright flavors. So this is a much faster dish to make. I don't put the lemon pepper in this dish because I want these Mexican spice seasoning to like really come through. So yeah, that just looks beautiful. You just want the peppers to get like a little bit soft. And I dice these peppers, but you can use frozen peppers. There's frozen tricolor peppers that come in a bag. If that's the case, it's okay to just start off with everything frozen. The corn, the peppers, all of it. If you have onions, now is the time to put those onions in. I'm going to put some red onions. I put two kinds of onions in this Mexicorn. I just love these flavors and these colors. I use red onions, and then at the very end I'm going to add green onions so they stay bright and green. But the red onions, it's okay to let them get a little bit soft in the pan. It's so much easier to eat healthy food when it's colorful. I always think of Christy Brinkley, who, you know, looks freaking amazing. She's like almost 70. She looks phenomenal. And I read an article where she said, I just try to get as many colors as I can in every meal. And I think that's good advice. We normally think of that only when we're eating salads, but you could do that with a stir fry. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. And it tastes good too. So now I'm going to add my cauliflower rice. This is the leftover cauliflower rice from my other video. I usually use about 2 cups of cauliflower rice. Cauliflower rice isn't really rice, and you're not going to like it if you expect it to be rice. All I expect it to be is kind of like filler. It just makes it seem like I'm eating a pilaf instead of a big scoop of vegetables. When really I am eating a big scoop of vegetables, the cauliflower rice is just tricking me into thinking that this is something familiar, so that my body isn't like, whoa, what's different? So mix this all up, give it a stir, and then now you're going to add either your taco seasoning, you can add just general Mexican seasoning, or again, my chimeo chorizo sausage spice. I like to start, the first time I made this dish, I made it with like 2 teaspoons of seasoning, and I've gradually gotten to the point where I just kind of sprinkle it all over and then taste it, and then salt and pepper, add more if I want it. It's okay to, you know, flavor your dish as you go. You actually should. When you watch cooking shows, they're always seasoning, always flavoring. So I probably put maybe a couple of teaspoons in there, but that's what it looks like. This smells so good. Stir it all up. Oh, it smells amazing. And now we're going to add those green onions. I always keep a giant thing of green onions in the fridge because I just cut them as soon as I bring them home, because I find that I put them in everything. I put them in Mexican dishes, I put them in Italian dishes, I put them in Asian dishes. They just have a really bright green flavor that it looks pretty on the plate, and it looks, you know, and it tastes delicious in the meal. So now, if you want to kind of stop here, this is, you know, this is pretty much done. You're really just heating everything and getting it like nice and toasty, opening up all those flavors. You don't want to cook it until the green onions soften. If the green onions are soft, you like cooked it a little too long. You can also use this as a filling for enchiladas if you're not quite ready to give up carbs. This is a super healthy filling. You can mix in your chopped up chicken that you got from your rotisserie chicken if you want. You can add Cotija cheese, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. It's probably like Cotija, but I like this as well. If you want to give it like a little bit of a cheesy lift, this is really nice. And you know, if you miss beans, I generally wouldn't add beans to this because I find that beans are pretty high in carbs. But if you're an athlete, or you know, you're just not quite ready to go on that jump off that low carb cliff, you can maybe add some black beans to this to give it a little more heft. But I find that like the corn already adds some carbs and some sweetness, and this works for me just as it is. So yeah, now you're ready to go. You can add this to your pre-prepped rotisserie chicken container meal that we got the other day. Like I said, you can mix in chicken. You can mix in ground beef or ground turkey thigh, or, you know, even shrimp. I have done this with grilled shrimp with a little lime, and it's pretty good. So yeah, let's taste this. See if it tastes as good as it smells. It smells amazing. That is good. I actually want to fry an egg and put it on top of this right now. So that's going to be my breakfast. I'll see you later. Happy carving. Bye.